Good afternoon and welcome back to our second live 2-hour show here at Crafters TV. My name is Debby Robinson. You're probably thinking, Debbie, why are you over here? And where's Ben? Well, we've given Ben a well-deserved break. Poor little love. I think we worked him beyond worked him over the birthday event and obviously Belvis too. So we had to give him a little bit of a breather, and so he's going to have an extended, we gave him 5 days off, but we thought, you know what, let's give him a little extension on that holiday. So we've given him a little bit of time off. So for today over here, you've got myself, which I've already done that first live hour show. If you watched us earlier on, you'll know that there were some absolutely amazing deals that are still live and still available, and we'll go through those in a second with you. But we have got an array of people who are here with us to put on this second live show of the day, the second of the last, boo-hoo. But we have got our producer Nicola in the gallery alongside our lovely Jamie, who apparently is only 13, but I'm pretty sure he's had a 22nd birthday somewhere. Anyway, they're the guys that are running the good, well, they're in control of that good ship CTV. We've got our lovely Jake backstage as well. I believe Lily and Johnny are still knocking around somewhere. And of course, you've got myself on the social media superstar. It's our lovely Jan, who's looking after absolutely everything. And I'll talk about this in a second, because by you being interactive with us for these next 2 hours, whether you be on YouTube or Facebook, you have got a chance to be in with winning something, but I'll explain a little bit more in a second, because I think the most important hello of the evening should be to the lovely craft expert. And it's a little bit unusual because we usually do the way around, so it's been really, really lovely to have that little swapsy today. And it is, of course, oh, can I just say, big shout out to him as well, because he hit a milestone today on Facebook. 14,000, yes, you heard me right, 14,000 followers. It's one of those Julia Roberts moments, whoop, 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 hitting all those followers that have not hit him, but hitting that 14,000 followers, which I just think is absolutely phenomenal. And it is, of course, our superstar male crafter, our hottie Scotty himself, our gorgeous Craig Laird. Good evening, Craig.
Good evening. Bless you for that one. Thank you for saying that, Debbie, because I wasn't going to say it on air, but that's really kind of you to say, so thank you very much. Yes, if you do follow, keep an eye out, because there will be a giveaway coming on Facebook for that one. So yes, thank you. Really proud of that number. But let's have a look at what we're going to be focusing on today. Now, we've had a little bit of a discussion before the show, because we were giving you a little bit of a tease as to something that's back in stock. And some of it's gone. So I'll let Debbie go over that, but we are going to be having a look at some of our nesting dies, whereas we've got well, actually I can't really show that. These are ones that are, let me go back to the beginning again. Let me show you what else. So we've also got our handmade papers on the show. So we've got the handmade papers on the show that you can then create the rosettes. You can then emboss with them if you want. We've also got 3D folders with the nesting dies. I've got nesting dies on the brain. 3D folders with the stamp and the dies. We've then got the Zen collection that we've got, Zen Garden collection. We've got, you can start to mix and match and build the colours. Well, there we go. So I know we do have circle nesting dies in stock. We've also got the square ones that you can see here. There are a couple of them. Now, earlier on today, we were talking about finished samples, packaging samples that our Nicole does. These are prime example. You'll be familiar with these on the packaging. So I've got them here, and there's a square one as well. So we're going to be having a look at some of the nesting dies. We'll have a look at the handmade papers. We'll also have a look at the why do I keep calling it Zen collection? What is it?
It's Zen Garden, the trend collection. The Zen, is it Zen Garden trend collection? Yeah, I think that's what it is. The Zen Garden trend collection.
You muted me, Nick. So yes.
Well, listen, we've got loads coming up in this launch party for you, and I'm really excited to see what our Craig is going to be making over this next couple of hours. Now, we did say this is a live and interactive show across on both of the channels on YouTube and Facebook, and to participate in with a chance to win in this fabulous edible die, which is, I love this one, not going to lie. I think it's a little bit of me. Just a little bit of me. I wonder what your favourite tipple is. But that's not the question I'm asking today, because for you to be in with the chance of winning this, all you need to do is comment across either of those channels. And necessarily, it doesn't have to necessarily have been brought forward into the studio, but just keep commenting. You can ask absolutely anything you want. If you did catch the Craft Vault show earlier on, you would have seen we answered a couple of questions, and we did some couple of techniques that weren't actually anything to do with what we got on the show, but we were interactive, and we had a couple of questions, and our Craig, absolutely superstar that he is, showed you how to use those certain techniques that people asked about. So that's exactly what you can do. You can ask questions to be in with a chance, because at the end of the show, that's what we're going to give you. But the question that we are wanting from you, or the answers that we're wanting from you, is all about Chinese takeaway or Chinese food at your restaurants. Because what is it again, Nick? National Chinese Takeaway Day. So the question is, what's your favourite? What's your favourite Chinese takeaway meal? Or do you go to a restaurant and order a particular dish that you like? Drop those answers in those comments and share with us, because let's face it, we're a bit nosy. Now then, shall I tell you my favourite?
Yeah.
And you'll know when we worked in Peterborough, Leanne gave me this fabulous Chinese restaurant that used to deliver to the flat, and my favourite Chinese takeaway was mixed meat chow mein with crispy spinach. Oh, I'm salivating. What's that word?
So am I.
Salivating. What was that word again? Salivating at the mere thought of remembering what that was. And salt and pepper chips. Mwah. With some prawn crackers thrown in there as well. So that was my favourite. Craig, what's your favourite?
Oh, I quite like the sound of what you've just said there, but my favourite, my go-to is always chicken and green pepper and black bean sauce with egg fried rice. I'll always as well have a portion of prawn crackers. I'll also have as well spring rolls, chicken if they've got them, chicken spring rolls. And then occasionally I'll treat myself to some ribs, but within the syrup. And what I'm also dabbling into, if they've got them, is chicken skewers in satay sauce. Oh, Craig, I've got some of those at home. I think that's might be having. I might bung one of those in air fryer when I get home. Absolutely love a chicken skewer in satay sauce. So that's all you need to do. Tell us what your favourite Chinese takeaway dish is, or when you go to a restaurant, what is it that you always order? Let us know, and you could be in with a chance at the end of the show to be winning that lovely edible. So please do get commenting. And talking of commenting, before we start with the first deal of the day, let's say a few hellos. So we have got lovely Julie Palmer saying good evening from Ipswich. Good evening, Julie. Michelle knits for you, afternoon all, because of course it's not just the evening. It is over stateside, I think, morning? Afternoon and morning. I think that's what it is at the minute. And wherever you are in the world, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Carletta Morris says, hello everyone. Diana Harrison says, good evening from Fareham to everyone. We've got PB Brewer Martin in, says, hi all from GA. What's that Georgia?
again? Georgia, thank you very much. For this launch party, Rosie Smith. You're not far from me, Rosie. She says, hi, everyone from Sheffield. Hello. I was born and bred in Sheffield, you know, Rosie. Where are you from? Stephanie Theodore says, good afternoon. Oh, sorry, good crafted noon from sunny, warm Farmingdale in New Jersey. Laurie Barnett says, hello. Rita Jackson says, good afternoon. Oh, I'm loving this. Good afternoon, everyone, from a rainy Louisiana. Taking a break from my chores to enjoy some crafty me time. Absolutely. Louise Catherine Ditch says, hi, Debbie and everyone from West Sussex. And Polly says, good afternoon. There's lots of good crafternoons on here at the minute. Crafting, not grafting. Still love that name. Absolutely love that name. Says, by Hilary, says, hello, everyone, from Hilary and Holly the Collie. Good afternoon. We do have a question or two coming in, so I will be sharing those questions, so do stay tuned. But we have got some news for you. obviously, there's lots of great deals over on the website. £10 Tuesday. We've got the sort and store, all your storage needs covered over on the website. Go and have a little look over there. Of course, firecracker deals, that firework flash sale that we've got going off, which it'll be ending very soon. But we did have it back in stock. Well, I say a back in stock. I don't know what you guys have been doing, because we've had a couple of hours off. We've actually been doing a little bit of a recording in between. So we have had an hour off either side of what we've been doing. But whilst we've been doing that, you guys, I'm a bit disappointed, Craig, I'm not going to lie, because you've been running to the, running, not walking, to that website and checking out. So when we were told you earlier on in the early show that we've got back in stock nesting dies, technically, we haven't got them all, but we've got a couple of them for you. And that's all because of you. What we have got are our fabulous... do you know what, to be fair, Craig, I think probably the most two usable ones.
Yes, I was thinking the same.
Absolutely. So first of all, we have got the nesting dies, which of course is the squares. Now, if you know anything about this and that young man across the other side of the studio, we are a big believer of nesting dies.
I am.
And I'm loving these because in the past, previously, they've all been 5mm depth or in between the space or increments, however you want to call it. Craig's been asking for absolutely ages, can we have it smaller? And we have gone smaller. We've gone to a 3mm, which for me, I get really excited about because I feel like it gives a really lovely clean finish, Craig, when you're doing your mats and layers. But of course, let's not forget, lots of things you can do with a mat and layer die, or nesting dies as we call them here, but absolutely phenomenal. And that's the price that you're seeing on the screen, £9.99 or $12.95. Of course, when you look at your club membership price, it's £7.99 if you're in Club Platinum, that is, and $10.36, which I think is a phenomenal price for a really useful set of square nesting dies. Now, the other ones we've got in stock are the circles. Wouldn't be without my circles, let me tell you. I think these are the most used dies that I use. And again, that 3mm depth or increment, or however you go about in terms of the mats and the layers and the nesting ability, that 3mm is what stands these apart from the other ones that we've had previously in the past. So this is your circles. You have got these in at £9.99, $12.95, exactly the same as the squares, and down at that platinum price of £7.99 or $10.36. So they're the two that we've got left. You little cheeky devils. So I was going to say is, don't hang around, because these were brought back into stock, as were the others, but they've gone. So if this has been something that you've been thinking about, or you're brand new to crafting, we always say as a crafty stash, these are things that you need, that are essential dies in your craft stash, then please don't be in that position where they're going to go out of stock again. Make sure you get hold of yours now, and you can buy either one or both depending on which one you fancy more. And I do believe, Craig, you are going to be doing your first demo with these.
I am indeed, yes. So let's have another look at these samples once again. I'll bring in another couple ones here, because as Debbie was saying, I do absolutely love nest and die, plain edge nest and die, small increments, because there's so many ways in which you can use them. This one really starting to create that focal point, but incorporating papers and cards. You can turn the squares around, you can chop them up, of course, and then when it comes to things such as the circles, or any of them, but focusing on the circles, you can do off the page as well. Now, what you will find, if you go across on my Crafters Companion YouTube channel, you'll see I've done that one, and then in the actual launch, Debbie, what we done was we made this box lid. So we made the lid within the launch day show, but what I'd already done across on my Crafters Companion YouTube is I'd made essentially the whole lot in real time. Because this took about an hour and 45 minutes to make.
That's
now, to do that on a whole show on Crafters TV, one demo wouldn't be fair. So we made the lid within the launch, which was, what, a week past Saturday? And I used the square, and you can just see with that dragonfly as well. We did use the stained glass window. I'm not sure, are they out of stock? They might be out of stock.
Have they gone out of stock as well?
Well, I'm still going to use it anyway. Still going to use them. And what I've done, Debbie, is I've gone in with my plaid pad. This was the Harvest.
Harvest.
Oh!
So we've just had news in. They are in stock. You just have to head over to that website and, yeah, because it's called this, now if I call it right, it's called the Stained Glass Effects. Was that right?
Yes.
Stained Glass Effects. type that in and have a little look. We might be able to find that code for you and pop it along the bottom, but they're absolutely beautiful. Sorry, I'm directing from the floor here. I do apologise, Jamie. We'll have a little look and see if we can help you out.
Never change, Debbie. Don't ever, 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 ever change. So what I've got is I have got the two of the largest dies. So I've got my two largest circle dies, and I've got a little bit of linen cardstock. No, I don't. A little bit of ivory cardstock. So what I'm going to do is let's align these ones up. I think I'm just going to, or I think I know what it was. My idea was the next two dies. The reason being, my initial finished example that you'll see just towards the end, I used the hexagons. But of course, with them sold out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change it ever so slightly. So I'll still show you what I've done, because the actual finished result is using the hexagons. But what I'll do is I'll do it using the circles. And I'm going to run these ones through. Now, these ones, if I set that back there, because they're nesting dies, Debbie, and they're really simple, basic shapes, what I've done is I've taken out my magnetic shim. Now, obviously, the Gemini has unrivaled pressure. It's the most amount of pressure we could possibly put in there, but you don't always need that pressure. So you've got that ability to take away some pressure by taking away that magnetic shim. Now, I know, of course, Debbie, you're a huge advocate of trying your die cuts, your simple dies, without the magnetic shim. So you can see there, that has cut absolutely beautifully, perfectly, no cracking, there's no nothing, and that was without the magnetic shim. So then therefore, that is still also, as long as you flip and rotate, that's still going to prolong your plates, because that's now less pressure. Here we go, we're 16 minutes into the show. It's bonfire night, everyone.
Yeah, well, just please excuse if you do hear anything going off in the background. Here in the UK, it's bonfire night. It is now 5:15, and it's probably the right time between now and we, fingers crossed, because they sometimes start about 6:30, 7 o'clock, but we've had them a few today. So if you do hear anything, it is, of course, the fireworks that are outside, so there's no control over it, but enjoy those noises while you can. Exactly.
I know if we have anything to go by like last year, then we're going to be in for a fun night. So I've gone in with my plaid pad, 6x6, and a little bit of ivory or cream cardstock. And I'm just going to mat and layer that on into place here. So I'm going to press that down into place, and then I'm going to go back with the two same dies that I used. What we're going to do is I'm going to use the smallest of the two, and I'm going to come towards the top. So we'd leave a little bit of a space towards the bottom here, and then let's bring in our tape once again, and then I'm going to tape that down, hold that in. Now, although that is our pattern paper and the cardstock that I'm using is round about 210, what I'm going to do, Debbie, is I'm still going to try it without the magnetic shim. Good chance that it's still going to cut, no problem at all. If it doesn't, then all that you need to do is then just add the magnetic shim. If you're doing two layers at once, the chances are it will cut the top layer if it's real thick card, and it'll just emboss the bottom layer. But we're just going to have a look. Look at that, absolutely like a dream, and that was still without the magnetic shim. So always, if it's simplistic shapes, get into the hang of trying the first cut without the magnetic shim. So what I then going to do is I'm going to move that one out of the way here. Now, because I used that smallest one, that means that that circle frame that I just cut a moment ago is going to sit perfectly, and I've got somewhere that I can glue it on. So what I'm going to then do is let's turn this one around. I'm going to go in with my red liner tape, and I'm just going to pop a layer all the way around here. Doesn't need to be overly neat. And yes, you can use a tacky glue, but you will need to wait a wee while for that to dry, because we're going to go onto our stained glass panel, which is a non-porous surface. So I'm just going to work my way around here. It's not as if we're doing anything like a shaker or that, so it's not as if I need the connections to be flush. I'm just going to work my way around. This panel would eventually be layered up onto foam pads as well, so you don't need to worry about it being neat or tidy. Let's bring in my scissors, and we're just going to snip that off. I'm going to press down, and we're going to get that going, take that off, and then what I'm going to do, you can, if you want, start to aim to go that way. It's doable, but I do find it a little bit easier. I'm going to go in with another bit of lighter card just so you can see here. If we then go into here and then line that up, and then I'm just going to then hold down, I'm just going to press. And the size that I've chosen, I've purposely chosen that, Debbie, because you'll have maybe seen a moment ago, see how you get a lovely, nice brown frame all the way round? I didn't actually want that. I wanted to have my own ivory frame. So that's why I went with the smaller size down, because you've got the choice. And you don't even just have to use these with the circles, even although it's a circle, because, as I said at the start there, the finished one that I will eventually end up using, Debbie, is actually a hexagon. Oh. So it's changing the look. And that's what you can do with many, many collections that you've got, many toppers. Your topper might be a square, but there's nothing stopping you from coming along with your nesting dies and changing the shape to something like your squares if you want to, or into a hexagon or something like that, by changing the shape by cutting into.
That's looking lovely.
So if I press that into place, so you can see, you can see a little bit of the glass mat coming through there. So you've got that colour, that translucity coming through within that design. I do like to then back it onto something of more of a core colour to really make that stand out. So what I'm then going to do now is I'm going to jump to the one that I'd already done, and there's a reason being, because I've also used a printed sentiment that I've used, and I've used the hexagon.
So look at that with hexagon round it. That looks lovely.
So that gives you that difference that you can see, and it just goes to show how, yes, that's a circle, but you can use any shape you want, and that's now going to change that look. But then what I've also done, and believe it or not, it's not something that I say a lot, not because I'm ashamed or because I'm embarrassed, but one of the songs I absolutely love is The Climb from Miley Cyrus. Oh, yeah. Because of the lyrics. Yes. It works for a lot of people, hard times, tough times, and that is life's a climb, but the view is great. And I just thought that was just lovely with that tree, because that tree can symbolise many, many different things, whether, of course, it's the journey of course, something growing, whether you're growing, and I just loved that phrase. So I just typed that out on my computer, and then, of course, I just came along and chopped it up. And then I've got a card blank, so I've just created my own 7x7 card blank from our craft card. And this brown card, it is 6.5 by 6.5, and this piece of kind of like ivory cream card, the size is irrelevant, Debbie, just as long as that it's covering that full back panel that we can see here. So all that I'm doing is, if I start to layer that on here, like that, just with a little bit of glue or your choice of adhesive, we can then pop that into here and press that in. So we can then pop that onto there. So let me take all of these well and truly foam padded up. So we can either pop it onto a card blank, like I'm away to do here, or what you could do is, if you get yourself a really, really nice but inexpensive frame, like that one. So if we bring that in, so you've got the option of either just popping it onto a card blank, and then of course you can give that to the recipient, or if I'm going to take out the glass, because I've got height here with the foam pads, I'm going to open this one up. You can see that I pulled a little bit too hard, but this would be up on the wall. So I'm going to take that out, I'm going to take that out, and I might keep this mount. I'm going to have a little bit of a play in a moment. But what I am doing, as I said before, I'm going to take the glass out because I've got that height, but I'm going to put the glass to the back so I don't lose it. So if I still need it at any point, then it's still going to be within the frame. So if I was to have a look here, like so, so I'm happy enough with that. Of course, if you still want to use the mount in that alternative way, you can do it that way, and I quite like it like that. Let's have a little bit of a look. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Yeah. So if I go. What I am going to do is, because I handmade this card blank, I'm going to take that back panel off, Debbie, because I don't want it to kind of be flapping within the back of the frame. You would not believe it. So obviously the lights and the heat in here. Just before we went live, I sorted
You sorted
my
your glues
glue.
out or watching you?
I got it all sorted. We're all good to go. So let's take this one. I'm just going to be careful because as always, we really do not need a lot whatsoever. So if I just take a little bit round the edge up to the top here, and then if we pop that into the centre, I'm going to line that one up, get it as central as possible. Let's go into here. I'm going to press that in. Now you could, if you wanted to keep the glass in, just don't put that on a higher mount with the foam pads, keep it flush. But we're going to then pop that back into place here. So we're just going to then make sure that's all nudged in. Let's give that a little moment or two just to grab. So as that's once grabbed, I can then, once it's assembled, I can of course still come back and put a bit of pressure. Let's just get that so it's sitting nicely into place here. It's going to fall out because it's not quite stuck yet, but it's fine. We can come back and rectify that in a moment. What I'm going to do is let's just stick these just back in, so I've still got them. And then same with that one. And I tell you what we will do, just so that we are protecting the glass, should we still need it, I'm going to take that one back out. Let me put the glass back in here. And then I've got that little bit just at the side here. I need to press that in. Get that into place. Let's see if we can nudge all of that. So let's just get that in here. Let's just move that. So we've got, so the only thing, you just need to make sure all those little metal clips are pushed in for it to then go back in. So let's push that in. Let's see if we can go back in this time. There we go. And just protecting the glass, let's put that back in. Let's pop that in here. That last step, we can turn it over and then we can reattach what we've just done. Let's get that in. Let's see. This is like a little game in itself, just to get them all.
They can be when you've got those little glass clips on.
That's right, yeah, here we go. And it's always that kind of one, isn't it? There we go. So let's press that in, hold that in. If I ever need the glass, it's still there. Still got enough glue on here. So I'm going to then position that back in, like so. It says, and if that is nice and straight, and then there we go. So that could be either a card blank, Debbie, or into a box frame.
I love it in the box frame. It looks beautiful.
And then
absolutely gorgeous, that.
there we go. And just having that little bit of light, as we say, lilac.
That's really beautiful.
I don't know where lilacs come from. Ivory or cream. It just showcases that colour from the stained glass panel. So lovely with the nesting dies. Although we're focused on that nesting dies, although the stained glass panels are still in stock, changing that shape, of course, with other shaped nesting dies, and other than cards, just a little bit of home decor.
Absolutely beautiful. So card making, home decor, the world's your oysters, especially when you've got a good set of crafting nesting dies. And I love the fact that it's got that 3mm increment, because you can get that kind of result. And I think it gives it that real class, that touch of class finish. We've had loads of questions, well, questions coming in. We've had loads of answers. I'm going to have to go through with him again. I'll just recap that deal though. Whether it be the circles or whether it be the square, this one's a circle. It's the same price, £9.99, $12.95. Of course, the purple box there is your Club Platinum membership level, which takes it down to £7.99 per set and $10.36. And whether that be the circles or the squares, they're both the same price. You just need to check out the codes there. Are you ready for this one, Craig? I'm going to have to go. I'll do a few of the Chinese ones that we've got coming in. But Nikoni on YouTube's put, or Nikoni on YouTube has put, hello from New Jersey. Missed my lovable, huggable, scruffy Yeah, it's cute. Craig, and not ever gorgeous Debbie. I missed saying hi to our CTV and social team. So she's sending warm hugs to you all. I love that bit. That did make me laugh. Loads and loads of comments coming in, but I'm going to have to mention the Chinese because that's what we're asking you about, these comments. So Jackie, I hope I'm saying this right. Is this Koch? Jackie, I'm really sorry because the way I want to pronounce it, I'm not going to pronounce it because it'll land herself into a whole heap of trouble and I would like to keep my job. I'm not sure how you pronounce your surname, Jackie, but all I'm going to say on Facebook, she's asked us a question about shimmer sprays, which we'll come back to later on, Jackie, I promise. But also she said sweet and sour shrimp. Yes. Yes, girl, now we're talking language. Oh, yes, absolutely. Marcia has said orange or lemon chicken. I've never tried either.
I've not tried that. Not
tried either of those. The orange chicken sounds different. I think I might have to try that one. Samantha Cheney on YouTube, my favourite is shrimp. I knew I'd get myself into trouble with this.
Shimmery,
Shrimp chow mein fun. I think that's what she's put. Mary Shaw on YouTube. Oh, yes. 2 peanut chicken and Mongolia beef. Mwah, that sounds delicious. Crafting Queen on YouTube has said, oh, Debbie, any excuse to get my favourite dinner from my best Chinese takeaway. Just about to order. For starter, chicken balls in curry sauce. Yum, yum, yum. Then she's going to have sweet and sour chicken, Cantonese style. Oh, yes. And egg fried rice. Good choices. Carol Garwood Beard on Facebook says, hot sour soup, egg drop soup, Mongolian shrimp or beef and chicken. It seems to be running a bit of a theme here, I'm feeling. Kim Rice on Facebook, always order sweet and sour combo meals. Not very healthy at all, though. Test doesn't matter. It's the National Chinese Takeaway Day, so you fill your boots. We don't worry about things like that on those kind of days.
No.
Oh, Mary Beth Doyle, are you ready for this one, Craig?
Oh, I'm ready.
Bourbon chicken, or orange chicken are my favourites. Craig, have you ever heard of orange chicken? I've never heard of an orange chicken before, so I think I'm going to have to look this up.
I've heard of duck orange.
Oh, yes, but yes. So I wonder if it's an American thing.
I wonder.
What do you think? Is it an English thing? Sorry, Jamie. Our Jamie's telling me in my ear it's an English dish as well over here. I've never seen it on mine. Or perhaps that's because I always order the same things. I think I need to widen me tastes, don't I? A little bit. Rebecca Dancer on Facebook says calamari, sweet sour chicken, crispy duck and roll. Let's try that again. Crispy duck and rolls, special fried rice, salt and pepper chicken, beef noodles. All at once, Rebecca? Or they're just your favourites because that sounds delicious. That's like a banquet. Mary Stewart on Facebook says crispy beef, chicken fried rice, vegetable rolls, absolutely. Evelyn Kiefer on Facebook, curry shrimp with fried rice are my favourite. I don't know about you, Craig, but I'm getting hungry talking about food.
Very, very hungry.
Rita Jackson on YouTube, I'm so excited about receiving the nesting dies she ordered for her birthday. For a minute then, Rita, I thought you were going to tell me my favourite Chinese dish, but I'll take that one. Jeanette McPake on YouTube. My go-to Chinese is house special chow mein. Oh, yes. You and me both. With a side order of chips and prawn crackers, Craig. Oh, honestly, people are loving you. They're loving what you've just done, that demo that you've just done. Lots of lovely comments coming through there. Lots of lovely people saying hello to us as well. So Lynn Harvey, hi, my lovely. Glad to see you with us. Jane Adams on Facebook, she said she loves orange chicken. See what I mean, Craig?
I know.
I'm going to have a little look on my next time I order from Chinese. I'm going to have a look for that orange chicken. Broccoli and beef, super green stir fry in a pot stickers. What's a pot sticker? Used to make my own, not so much anymore. Well, keep them coming in. Oh, Jeffrey. I'm just going to have to mention Jeffrey here. Jeffrey, I thought it said parking duck, and I thought, what's that when it's at home? Peking duck.
Peking duck.
Sorry, I can't read properly. Special order, house special duck, crab rangoons, scallion pancakes, salt and pepper calamari, hot and sour soup, and egg drop soup. Do you know, there is some newbies on here, Craig, that I've never heard of before. I think I need to broaden my horizons when it comes to the Chinese takeaway ordering. Keep them coming in. I can see there's a few more because But honestly, seriously, we've got loads of you commenting, because this is what you are in with a chance just by commenting about your favourite Chinese takeaway dish, or when you go out to the restaurant itself, or perhaps you like cooking it yourself. But this is your little, I'm going to say giveaway, because we are giving it away free at the end of there, just by simply commenting on YouTube or Facebook. Right, where are we moving to next, producer Nicola? Oh, okie dokie. We have been doing some delving for you, and look what we've found on the website. There you go. As if by magic, she has worked her magic. Our stained glass effects, which is the acetate, the window acetate. It's the collection of both the circles and the squares. There are 36 in each. That's 72 sheets, or shall we call it acetate sheets, of those beautiful printed images that you can see there for £25 or $29. Taking it down to the lowest at platinum level is £20 or $23.20. Now, a little bit of word of a warning. There isn't a lot of it. So if you like that stained glass effects, then please, 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 please don't be in the same situation that we've just had with the nesting dies, back in stock and now we've only got 2. Please make sure, if you've liked that, loved it, want to replenish what you've already got, or you've not seen them before, then please go over to that website and check out your purchase. Right, we're going to have a little recap. Now you're probably thinking, Mrs Mosby, or the pretend Mrs Mosby is on this side, because I like to call myself that, because he's my TV hubster, is on this side. Well, I know you've been missing him and his cheeky, chappy ways, but you can watch a little bit about him and learn a little bit more about him right now. Please do join us on the other side of this.
It differs slightly depending how lively I'm feeling first thing in the morning. Sometimes I head to the gym. More often than not, I don't head to the gym and I go on the school run. After the school run, I'm normally in here, getting by about 10 o'clock, chatting with the producer, whoever that might be on the day. So I've started going home a little bit more now, actually, in between shows. I only live about 5 minutes up the road, so it's nice to take a bit of a break. Go and make a nice cheese sarnie. Yeah. Cheese sandwich. I love a cheese sandwich. Going home. I can't say the end of the day. You might want to keep this in. I can't say the end of the day, can I? The best part of the day is starting off and finding out what kind of a day it's going to be. Oh, probably night owl now. Never shower. He's so dirty. Oh, that's a really good question again. I'm a bath man. I love a bath. Coffee in the morning, tea in the evening. No breakfast. I don't really have breakfast. I tend to sort of eat my first meal around lunchtime. Craft along. My waistcoats, my range of waistcoats, because you've always got to have plenty of waistcoats ready for the day. Is help the guys pack up. I know you're looking at me saying you don't do that. I do. I'm not one of those presenters that comes in, you know, doesn't help the backstage crew. I'm always helping out. You just ask anybody else.
When I'm working, it's quite busy because I have to get up really early to come in to work if I'm going to be travelling from London. But otherwise, I'm quite lazy. I spend a lot of time in bed. Best part of my day is when we come in and I get to see everybody. I really enjoy being up here. It's really nice to see all my friends, and this is my happy place. I do like to see everyone, and also, of course, if Christina's in, I'm getting my breakfast from Christina before I start the day. Early riser without a doubt, never a night owl. I'm in bed at 9:30. Bath at night, shower in the morning. I'm very clean. Tea, the colour of He-Man. Both. I like pancakes with bacon and maple syrup. Craft along, because there's always a softer side to craft along. My life is my phone. Yeah, the phone and the dog. unless I'm coming up here and I can't bring the dog in. My favourite lunch isn't lunch. My favourite lunch is afternoon tea. That's what I'd like. Lots of selection of sandwiches, some scones, or scones, some cream and jam, and some little cakes. But I couldn't have it every day because I'd be the size of a house. Oh, that changes to the moment. My favourite song at the moment is Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten. Or make myself a cup of tea and go and have a bath.
Welcome back to, I was going to say the second hour, but not quite. We're still in our first hour of our second and last live show of the day, which of course is Launch Party. And we've already seen some runaway successes already in that first part of the show. We've got some more great items coming up for you as well. Don't forget to drop in your comments about your favourite Chinese takeaway or dish. I've seen loads coming through. I'm going to try and pronounce the words right. But of course, you will be in with the chance of winning our lovely little giveaway, which is our lovely edgeable that you can see at the side of me here. And somebody will be winning that. And if you can hear the fireworks, as I've just heard them popping, it's bonfire night. Here in the UK, it's the 5th of November, and that is notorious for all of those fireworks that we can hear right now. So yes, that's what you can hear. If you can hear it coming through the microphones, don't worry, everything's fine. So yes, please do keep your comments coming in. So the next thing we're going to talk about, which I know is one of my favourites, I've always loved our colour trend collections that we do, which is we're bringing in lots of different mediums with a colour theme running through them that complement each other, that work really nicely together, but give you a little dabble into lots of different things that we do at Crafters Companion. And this one is our Zen Garden. It's the latest, and I believe the last for now, is what I've heard on the grapevine, i.e. Leanne. So she has told us that for now we're just resting it for a little bit. We've had quite a few. This is the 6th in the collection as well. So if you've had any of our previous ones, you'll know where we're going with this and the theme that we're running through there. And I do love this because it has got those lovely, calming, peaceful, Zen-like colours that really do bring some calm to you. Now, I'll go through the deal with you. You can see the price on the screen, £59 or $89.99. Club Platinum price for everything that I'm going to show you in a second. We'll bring it down to £47.20 or $71.99. Now, I've got boards or items. What would you prefer? We'll do the board first so you can see the colourway, that colour trend, that lovely Zen-like colours, those calming colours that you see from those light blues, those lovely greens, and those, I mean, I call them the beautiful pinks because they really are quite muted and really pretty. But in here, you are getting a vast array of different things. And I'll talk through them first. Now, we did this, and I like the breakdown that Sheena and Leanne did. So much so to make it a bit easier, because I know people see all these different mediums and they start to think, I don't really understand all the mixed media, the multimedia side of things. But simply when you break it down into items, because there is a lot in this collection and there's a lot of different things that we do on a bigger scale. But of course, these are all exclusive colours to that particular collection. And of course, they just all work. So you can use one item or you can use lots, and Craig will show you in a second. So what I'm going to break it down to in first is, I've got them all here, is the water kind of colour, or the water reactive kind of theme to this collection. So first things first is the Duet ink pad, where you've got this gorgeous colour which is called the Mountain Blue. So I'm just going to take it off for a second so you can see that lovely soft hue of that blue. Beautiful. And of course, Duet ink pad means that you've got that separation of two colours in one ink pad. Again, absolutely fabulous. Moving on, and it's still, although it's a shimmer ink pad, this one, and we've got an exclusive colour in this which is called the Japanese Maple. This still is a water base, so although it's got the shimmer, you've still got water based nature, which means you can paint with it as well as stamp with it as well as heat emboss in that gorgeous beautiful Japanese maple colour. The next in that water reactive kind of feel is of course our tricolour pens, and our tricolour pens have got 3 colours, all exclusive to this as well. These aren't colours that you will see anywhere else, and I'll just bring them round so that you can see them, where you've got this soothing I'm sorry, I'm going to have to turn it this way. Soothing Shade, Bamboo, and then the very bottom one, which I can't read upside down. Let me just have a little peek. Magnolia. I will be able to learn to read one of these days. But can you see already the blues and that Japanese maple working really well with these? So that's your aqua pen. And I say aqua pen, 3 colours, 1 pen, brush nib as well. So they're all your water-based ones. Including, and Jackie, I haven't forgotten your comment. You asked about shimmer sprays. I've already asked Craig during the break if he would kindly show us how to use this, because this is one of our lovely shimmer sprays. Gorgeous mica in there, as well as that lovely colour, and again running along those themes that work really well, but it is still water-based. So that's breaking it down into like a water-based medium. Then you've got your colouring aspect, so you've got your tricolour alcohol pen, and again in here you've got 3 beautiful calming colours. We've got Lily Pad, Reflection and Cool Water. So it's our tri-blend brush pen. This is alcohol pen, marker, so 3 in 1, but they work beautifully together, and you get a really lovely, when you mix with these, you get a really lovely ombre effect, but not necessarily like we would normally expect with your light, your medium, dark. We've got 3 beautiful colours that work beautifully together. Talking of colour, now this is the only one that isn't the exclusive colour, because in this one you may have seen this blush pen before. This is our oil-based marker, which is our metallic marker in that beautiful blush colour. And then moving along into some mediums, we're going to move over to our glitter pastes. Love the glitter pastes. You've got a chunky and you've got a fine in this, and again the colourways, that colour trend, that calming colour is that beautiful water lily in the pink, and in the chunky glitter, it's the Lily Pond. 2 beautiful glitter pastes. Moving on to glitter and things that you might have seen earlier in the craft vault, we've got our gilding flakes. Now, Pretty Pink, Craig, correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty Pink, a new colour?
Yes.
I believe this is a new colour, so one that we haven't brought out to you before. And then also, oh, look at the tub of glitter. This glitter you have to see in the naked eye, because it's absolutely stunning. And the colour that we're calling this is Lotus Flower, but the shimmering effect that you're getting in there are all those gorgeous colours. A really big tub of your glitter. We've got some jasmine sequins for you. I love the sequins. Again, if you love shaker cards, but again, mediums that are going to work across the whole lot of this range. Then you've got in there some glitter glue, and a new colour in this one is the Willow. So you've got Willow, again, that colour theme, you can see where it's all matching together. And then we've popped in some beads, and I say beads, we've got pearls unbacked. They've not got any sticky back into them, so it means you just glue them down yourself. And that lovely, and now the colour we're calling that is Blossom Dream, I think that's right. Yeah, Blossom Drops, Debbie, Blossom Drops. And then these, oh my God, I love these, Craig. I don't know about you, but the colourway in there.
Yeah.
Can we just have a little look? Beautiful, beautiful gems in those gorgeous lilacs and those beautiful greens and blues. Absolutely stunning. So that is all of your mediums that you're getting, broken down into a little bit more of an easier way of understanding. And I did love Leanne's way of that. And talking of Leanne, I've just seen her going out the door there. She's working late today, Craig.
She is, isn't she?
But absolutely beautiful collection at a fantastic price that you're seeing on the screen of £59, $89.99. And of course, the lowest price there is the purple box. But Craig, how do we use them?
Oh, you can use them in so many ways. You can use all of them together if you want, because they all coordinate and complement. Or, of course, you can cherry pick. They're also a lovely one to be a little bit of a tester when it comes to our ranges at Crafter's Companion. Maybe you've not got our full mesmerising glitter paste. Maybe you've not got our full shimmer sprays, or maybe our full duets. These are lovely little testers for you. Also, as Debbie was saying, a lot of them are exclusive colours to just this collection. So if you do have something, for instance, our Duet ink pad bundle, then of course you're not going to have your Mountain Blue that's in this set, because you can only get it within the Zen Garden set. So it's a nice way to add these exclusive colours to your bundles. But these are just showing you some of the many ways in which you can start to use the collections, bringing in your stamps, bringing in your dies as well, and then bringing in even your embossing folders that you can see. Love that one there that Nicole's done. And what about maybe if you do enjoy doing a little bit of freehand, what about doing a little bit of freehand and then just using the tips of the pens that you can see within that one there? So that one is Cheryl Clayton that's done that one.
Oh, of course, Cheryl, our lovely Cheryl Clayton was on our Spectrum Noir design team.
Yeah, so
fantastic
she's
colorist and artist.
Just says on the back, freehand drawing. and then using some of the components within this collection just to add that colour. So let's have a little bit of a play. First of all, what we'll do, Debbie, is let's have a look at the shimmer spray, because we're going to be using it anyway within this one. Now, shimmer spray, absolutely beautiful in the way that it shimmers, the way that you start to lay it down. But you can spritz through your stencils if you want to. You can do your inky backgrounds. You can watercolour with it if you want to, because it's a water-based medium. So if you want, you can just go onto a glass mat. Maybe you've got a little palette, something like that you like to use, and then we can go in, just making sure, of course, you've got some water, and you can actually use this as a forum of doing your colouring. You can paint with them. So if you stamp out your images when it comes to your waterproof ink pad onto your watercolour cardstock, you can start to watercolour with them, and you'll still get that beautiful shimmer that you get if you spritz through. And if you spritz through, the further to the cardstock that you spritz, the more of the bigger pools that you're going to get. The further the back, the more of that kind of fine mist that you're going to get as well. But just doing a little bit of loose colouring onto your cardstock with a paintbrush, you can see, even though it's still just starting to dry, you can just see that bit, the sparkle, that shimmer just jumping out. It'll be even more apparent once it's dried. But you can then go in with your larger brushes as well. Just going to take a little bit of that excess water off. And of course, you can do your bigger backgrounds if you want to. You can really start to blend that colour out and get your lighter shades if you want to. You can go in with your darker shades if you want. I'm going to set it to the side and show you again just shortly when it comes to what it actually looks like. But then if I just turn it over just now, I've got a stencil that I would be using. And this is what a lot of people will tend to use your shimmer sprays. What I would highly recommend, if you're not already in it, go on our website and have a look at the craft vault from earlier on and treat yourself to the Shimmer Spray Craft Club, because I teach you, I think it's about 3 or 4 different video techniques, video tutorials within that craft club, plus you've got the booklet as well with a variety of other ways in which you can use the shimmer spray. I mean, just touching upon a few that you can use. I'm just doing a few little squirts, but through your stencils and that as well.
Lovely.
You know, there's just many ways that you can be using your shimmer sprays, not necessarily just within the form of spraying. But if I go into a bit of, actually, I can just, if I press out into my glass, because I'm going to be needing this, because I'm actually away to use this shimmer spray in another way. So let's just take some of that excess off for now. And then I'm just going to go onto my glass mat here. And if I go in with my paintbrush, I've got a little bit of water here. What I'm doing, take a little bit of that excess water off. I don't want that much. What I'm just going to do is kind of brush it out, Debbie. Just going to kind of fan it out. So we've got a little bit more of a lighter coverage. Use it onto the glass mat. You can use a tile if you want, a craft mat, an old flat Gemini plate if you want to. As long as it's a non-porous surface, you can use it on that. And then if I go in with a piece of watercolour card, 4 3/4 by 7 1/4, I've cut that to. Let's go at a little bit of an angle. And I'm just going to press, and then we're going to lift and see how that looks. So we can see it's starting to get.
Ooh, I like
that kind
it.
of, the thing is, Debbie, is you will never, ever
Get to the same.
get to exactly the same. It's never going to happen. And we're going to start to get a little bit of the texture of the watercolour card come through. What I'm going to do is let's do another few little spritz here. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more water. And while I'm doing that, I don't want to like dry it with the heat tool so it's solid dry. What I want to do is I just want to give that just a little bit of a moment or two, just to let that water soak into the card with a shimmer spray, and then just start to then dry just a teeny little bit. Just starting to then brush that out again onto my glass mat, and then I'm just going to give that a light little waft there, and then I'm just going to go in again. Let's just press, not too hard this time, but I'm just going to then start to lift that up, because what we're going to get then is where that base layer is initially dried, Debbie, that's going to be a little bit lighter.
That's
and then
lovely.
I'm going in again with another tone here. What I'm going to do this time is I am going to go and grab a heat tool.
I love splodging techniques.
I do as well.
Onto your craft mats, onto your glass mats. I just love the effects. It's like you said, not having the same two pieces as well is what excites me, because I love creating backgrounds with inks, with ink pads, with shimmer sprays. And do you know, I completely forgot about doing it with a shimmer spray. So again, you just refresh my memory on a little technique there, which looks absolutely beautiful when it's done.
It's just lately that I even remembered to do it with a shimmer spray. I was trying to think one day what to do with my shimmer spray, and I thought, oh, I'll do a little bit of a background, because here, where I've got that real trail of water and the shimmer spray, what I'm going to have is I'm going to have that darker edge that's running all the way down, and then we can just start to see that difference. So there is that base layer that I put down first of all, then that second layer, I've got more of that deeper tone, or that mid-tone anyway. I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. What I'm then going to do is let's take, so that I don't waste that, Debbie, let's just take another bit of just watercolour card. I'm not caring how this looks, it's just so that I'm not going to be wasting it, because once it's dry we can use it elsewhere. I can cut into that.
Die cut into it once you've created those backgrounds.
That's it. Never, ever, ever waste. Just pick it up, as much of that as we can possibly get. We're just going to then lift that one up. So I'm going to let that dry, and then I can take that home and use that elsewhere. I'm going to go in, I'm just going to take all that excess off here. What I am now going to do is, let's just take that excess off. I'm going to, let's see, what have I got here that I can use? Actually, I'm going to go over here, Debbie, because I've noticed an empty, someone's been shopping at Amazon Prime. So,
Are you having it as a spray box?
Yes, no point hiding it, because you're going to see it. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to go in here, but I'm going to go at a distance.
Yeah.
Because I want it more of a spray. I kind of want that third layer, Debbie, just to be like a lighter spray.
Oh, I've got loads of crap. I mean, I know I've got my own little Debbie. I know we've got a Brenda here in the studio somewhere. I've got a Debbie one at home that Liam made for me, but I do use boxes like that as well to create a spray effect for different
That's it. You would think I would just use the same one over and over again, but I don't need it now, so I put it in the recycling, and then the next day later or something, I need another one, and I just keep doing that. So let's, yeah, that's right, Nick. Yeah. Oh, what can I buy from Amazon now so that I've got another box that I can be using? Yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, you can do it, and it's just so that it's not going over your work desk, of course. It makes it a little bit more contained and easier to clean up afterwards. I know you're not going to have like a Tracy at home that you have to make sure it's well scrubbed. Jake isn't overly bothered. So
no, Jake's fine. He's so laid back, Jade, isn't he?
Jake's absolutely fine.
Jake. I'm giving him a new name now. Oh, my life.
He suits a Jade, actually. He does suit a Jade. And then let's take, I'm going to go in with that beautiful shimmer, that shimmer ink pad that we've got, the Japanese maple. And I'm going to also just go in, but I'm only just going to go into just little sections. And actually, yeah, I am going to dab my card back in. So let's go back in with the water. Now, this is obviously a stronger tone. So I'm just going to then go in, dab within that smaller area. See how this is going to look. I'm not going to press all the way down. I just want it to kind of be within that centre there.
Building more up. Look at that.
How fab
And you've got all that
that?
shimmer and stuff. Like, oh, it's really beautiful.
It's all there.
This is right up my street, this background, Craig. I'm not going to lie. I love, you know, I'm an inky girl at heart. I love things like this.
And what I'm just doing is I'm kind of just coaching it where we've got those little bits of that deeper shade. Although it still looks absolutely lovely, I'm just kind of coaching it out a little bit, just with a small paintbrush and water. Just going to go in any little bits that are still kind of wet. We can just go in and then just coach it out. If you've got a little bit of excess water, use it to your advantage So what I mean by that is if you've got an extra pool of water, what to do is use it to your advantage, Debbie. Move it, twist it, get it so it's dripping
That
down.
looks
You're going to get
beautiful.
that trail of water as well. So that being enough, and so that we don't waste that, let's also take, oh, that was a big firework. Let's take that one. And then
I did wonder what that noise was coming from your end.
Oh, yep. Definitely the fireworks. Definitely. And then let's take that off. Don't know what else you could possibly be meaning, Debbie.
Wrong choice. Saying wrong choice of words. I got Jackie's name right.
You do? That's
It's Koch.
true.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's messaged back in to say that the last try was correct. It's the CH is pronounced as like Scotch, Koch. So she said, great work. Ben got it wrong.
Ah.
So I like to get names right, though. I was a stickler when I was at the dentist. When I worked in dentistry, I love to get people's names right, to pronounce them right. So yeah. And one of the dentists there was called Rogovsky, and everybody had been calling him Rujowski for years. And I'm like, is that how you spell your name, Vic? And he was like, no. I was, how do you say it? And I just took that one time. So all those other members of staff were calling him Rujowski for years, and his name was Rogovsky. I like, call him by his name.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to get it right, Jackie. I'm not that I'm a stickler for detail, but I am really.
But when it comes to
yeah.
names.
I'm glad I got it right. And I'm hoping you're taking some real inspiration from our Craig with these lovely shimmer sprays and this collection as well.
Because then what I'm also going to do, if we go back, Debbie, and then just spritz again, let's do a little bit more. And then I'm going to go back with my paintbrush. Now, I just want a teeny bit of water, nothing too much, because I don't want to dilute it too much. And then I'm just going to go kind of into the corners. So we're going to go into that bottom corner. We're going to go into that top corner, but notice I'm drying in between each layer. It stops it from, not that you're going to get a muddy colour, but it's going to stop it from just starting to blend all in together. You're going to keep that base note, you're going to keep that mid note, you're going to keep that top note when it comes to the colours themselves. And then we're going to do the same again, we're just going to dry that off. And then I've gone and hunted out the stencil from the Art Deco.
Oh, yes.
So we're going to use that large square one, and we're going to use one of the glitter pastes. Let's go in with the water lily. Going to go in with that beautiful lilac, which is going to complement these different layers of colour. But each layer, Debbie, you're still getting the shimmer from the shimmer spray.
Yeah.
You're still getting that shimmer from that the Japanese maple. But
I'm loving how you're bringing them all together, because like we said, these will work each one of these would work on their own, but bringing them all together, just get the most out of your collection.
Yeah, for sure.
And because they've been colour matched to work really perfectly together as well, they complement each other.
They do, don't they? Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, yes, they complement each other as a whole, and they work individually. But if you use 2, Debbie, they complement. If you use 4, they complement. If you do 7 of them, so it doesn't matter the number of the ones that you use, whether it's 1, whether it's 3, whether it's 5, whether it's all, every single one is going to complement each other in some form. And that's what's great. You don't have to do any thinking whatsoever. So now that we've got that, each time what I'm also doing as well, Debbie, is I'm just mopping up my glass mat, because if you use your heat tool, you're going to get condensation building up. And not that I'm going to turn that around, but if I do turn that around, then any of that condensation water can affect the background that you've created. So we're going in with that big one. We just heard go bang. Let's go in with that water lily here. And then let's flatten it. So see if we can see. Oh, look at that. The from above. They're from
Look at that
above.
shimmer.
But then look.
That is beautiful.
So even those layers that I've watered down, Debbie, you don't lose anything. You're still getting
That
those
looks stunning.
different layers with that shimmer. So let's go in with the stencil now. Now, the one and only time, you guys know really, the one and only time with a stencil I tend to use a repositionable spray is with something like a glitter paste, so say glitter glue. So I'm just going to go at the back here, just while it's here, and I'm just going to give, this is definitely the repositionable, yes it is. I'm just going to give a few short, sharp bursts onto that. You know, if I'm using a blending ink pad, something like that, I kind of freehand, just let that sit and then I blend through it. But because something like your glitter paste or that, because you do have quite a bit of water content, it can really start to seep under. So I would always recommend, if you are like me and don't tend to use a repositionable spray, I would recommend that you do when it comes to something like a glitter paste. And then I'm just going to let that evaporate ever so slightly. And then we're going to go and we're just going to then press that one on. Let's give that a nice press down as well. And I'm only really just going to kind of focus within the middle and towards the edges. If I got a nice fresh one, oh, I have.
Oh,
Lovely,
I love it.
unopened, fresh one. So I'm just going to run round the edge, either with your scissors or a pokey tool. But I don't want to take it all off. I want to keep that in place. Gosh, that's... Well, it's been upside down. I was about to say that's jam-packed full, but it's been upside down. Let's just take some of that off, and then I'm going to go in. Let's just use what's there, and then let's get a really, really nice blob, so to speak, in technical terms. And I'm going to focus within the middle to start with, like so. And then what I'm doing while I'm using what's already there, let's just go into the edges, maybe just a little bit popping out, and then I'm just going to then flatten. Because this is really, really smooth, I would take off the excess that I can. If you're using a real chunky one, what I would do, I personally would stay away from really fine stencils. But if you are using that chunkier one, I would leave a little bit of excess on before you peel it off. And then if I lift that one up here, you'll start to see, I mean, even just that glitter, it's not even dried yet.
You can see the shimmer still coming through,
and
even though the glitter's there.
It coming through. So what we can then do, let's just keep going back to our waste bit. And then I'm just going to take some of that excess off there. And then I'm just going to then scrape over the top, like so. And it's not really going to show anything specific other than all that I'm doing, Debbie, is I just want to get as much of that excess off, because I can cut it, I can emboss it, I can do so many things to it afterwards. What I am also then going to do, just before we go on to that next bit, we don't have, I can see the little bath to the side of me, but there's no water, so until we get to that next break, I've just got some baby wipes here. And then I'm just going to pop that to the side, just so it stays damp. So let's pop that to the side. I'm also just going to clean.
Nice little top tip if you haven't got your water outside of you.
Just if you've not got it, yeah. Just make sure it stays nice and damp, so it gives you that little bit of time before you actually come along and then start to clean it. So we've got that layer here that's starting to dry. If we go straight on.
That's gorgeous.
Are
you going to dry that now, or?
I am going to dry that, and then because I do have one at the side of me, Debbie, but I really want to use what I've created. Do you know what I mean? You've got time to really let the layers, like your glitter paste in that layer, and then all that I'm going to do, because I know there's comments not coming through, Debbie. I've gone in with our kind of like wildflower dyes and that.
Oh, lovely.
And then we're just going to have a plate. We'll put a few little drops down, maybe a few little drops down as well, maybe a few little drops, and just start to assemble it together. I've got little stamp. If friends were flowers, I'd pick you. And then we'll just start to build and see how it comes out.
Absolutely. Well, while you're doing that, Craig, I'm just going to read a few more comments, because we've had more talk of Chinese takeaways.
Okay.
We've got to stop this, Nicola. Who decided this before the start of the show when we haven't had us tea? I mean, really, you guys are coming in. Lisa on Facebook says 3 flavour sizzling rice soup, spicy orange chicken. It's coming up again, Craig. Honey walnut shrimp fried rice. Delicious. It sounds beautiful. Cheryl says Kung Pao chicken. I think that's how you say that. Rhonda Crowley's Creations on YouTube. Moo moo shu pork with plum sauce and vegetable fried rice.
Oh, nice.
Sheila Swift, I am in total agree with you here on YouTube, says, Debbie, you need to visit a Chinese buffet, try lots of different things for a set price. That sounds like a good idea.
Does, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Crafty Angie on YouTube, shrimp egg foo young is delicious. Kirsty D on YouTube says, I usually get sweet and sour mushrooms, noodles, stir-fried mushrooms, egg fried rice, chips and curry sauce, and of course, prawn crackers.
Of course.
Of course. But she said for my son. I thought that were quite nice. Jane Adams, pot stickers. Craig, we've got the answer. Pot stickers are a dumpling steamed, then crisped up on the bottom, served with a soya ginger dipping sauce.
Okay.
I wonder why they're called pot stickers for
yeah.
then. That sounds, yeah. Stephanie said egg roll. Stephanie Theodos on Facebook said egg roll. My phone, general something chicken. I can't read that address, so I apologise. And pork fried rice, fortune cookies. Got to have a fortune cookie.
Oh, you've got to.
Got to have a fortune cookie. Sweet and sour chicken. She said she'd cook her own though because she's got some food allergies and restaurants not always her best friend. So
Oh, okay,
Polly,
that's understandable.
that sounds like a good idea. And Ricky Lyford on Facebook says, hello you two, love watching you and congrats to Craig for the new record on Facebook, fans, absolutely.
thank you.
And he's ordered the stained glass windows, can't wait to get hold of it.
Brilliant.
That sounds good. Chicken and broccoli, chicken fried rice, wonton soup and egg roll. I was just going to say, is that an egg roll or spring roll?
I think so.
And that's Michelle from YouTube who said tum. I wonder if she means yum. Yeah. Our lovely Michael Adams on YouTube is watching. Hi, Craig and Debbie, just home in time, been to Yorkshire Wildlife Park to see the baby cheetahs. Oh, I love Yorkshire Wildlife Park. It's such a lovely place. Sweet and sour chicken with fried rice, says Karen H on YouTube. Madge, I totally agree with you on this comment. All this talk of Chinese is making me hungry.
No, me too.
Absolutely. And Louise said she's off to order a Chinese right now because all this talk is getting people hungry. Salt and pepper chips with lemon chicken.
I've
yes,
never
please,
had
said
that
Larry. Oriel said my mum would buy San Francisco duck, best tasting duck in the world, but I can't find it anymore. Little Bear, I bought a Chinese cookbook from Woolworths in 1984 for 99 pence. Could you imagine getting a book for 99 pence these days?
Could you imagine?
It contains 500 recipes and she still uses it. Her favourite meal is fried beef and green ginger with boiled rice. Now that's good value for money from that cookbook, let me tell you.
That is, isn't it?
We've got more people saying I want a Chinese now. Nicolette on YouTube says, sorry late to the show today. Good day to Debbie, Craig, the CTV crew, crafty friends from the home of WrestleMania 2022, Las Vegas. Wait a minute. 2025, Debbie, get your eyeballs back in. Las Vegas, Nevada, Craig. That is Nicolette on YouTube.
Oh, that's where Mania is going to be there.
Yeah, are you going to there?
No, I would like to.
Yes.
But because I'm really keen to be in New York for my 40th in the June.
Oh.
I can't.
You
do
can't
both.
stay there that long, matey.
No.
We're not letting you stay there. Wait a minute. When was that?
It's in April. It's in April.
Oh, is it in April?
Yeah.
Well, you can't stay till June.
Well, obviously I wouldn't be staying, but then that would be 2 trips. I would need to go from here to Vegas and back, and then a couple of months later go here to New York. So I definitely wouldn't stay. As much as I would love to stay, I definitely wouldn't.
I was thinking, you can't stay that long. You've got work to do. But to be fair, you could go a little tour around States. That's the thing. Take Crafter's companion on tour as long as you take me.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Loads of lovely talk coming in. Jackie Kochas said, thank you, Craig. I didn't think there were so many ways that you could use the shimmer spray.
You are
look how
more than
beautiful
welcome.
this is looking. Stunning is the only word I have for this. Oh, Evelyn said, how chunky is the extra chunky glitter paste, please? Is it still spreadable? She wants to put it through a stencil. Oh, no. If I don't want to put it through a stencil, what is the best way to apply it in small amounts?
That is a good question. In all honesty, glitter paste I've only ever used through stencils. You can definitely use them without stencils. You can use them over die cuts and that if you want to. The when it comes to a range of that one's not open as well, but we're going to have to open to show you. The range of mesmerising glitter paste, they are really, really quite chunky.
Yes.
Because they've got thicker particles of glitter in there. So if I'm not sure if we can kind of see how chunky are.
So I think the more detailed stencil would struggle with a chunky glitter paste.
Yeah.
One that's got a little bit more open space, is that the right word?
Look at the difference.
Look at that, yeah.
Yeah, so this is why I was saying that one that I used, the Art Deco Debbie, I wouldn't really be inclined to be using our chunky one because there's a lot of real fine detail. I would stick to a finer glitter paste. But you know, if you want to put them on your die cuts, what you can also do with them is if you've got, for instance, like an embossing folder, let's say a 2D embossing folder, emboss your cardstock, and then on the raised side that you've got the deboss, spread the glitter paste into the deboss part of the design. That's one way of using your glitter paste as well, out of stenciling. But to be honest, I really do only tend to use the glitter paste through stencils, Debbie.
Yeah.
Not sure about you.
Yeah, I have done, but I've taken a paintbrush with it. So a paintbrush and dotted it around to like do a little bit of an edging. So I've done that before. And also you can use like a sponge to dot it around as well. I don't know if you've seen Sheena do things like that, but you can do things like that as well. But I will tell you, 9 times out of 10 it goes through a stencil for me personally, because I just love the texture that it gives. But you can add it into lots of different makes as well. So yes. But this is looking beautiful. And again, I can see you using more mediums.
That's it, yeah, I'm going in with the sequence now. Just going in with the sequence. I'm just putting about 3 one corner, 3 in the other one. I thought I'd cleared that log, but I'm just going to go in just with one little bit here, and then I'm just going to press that one in. Let's go in as well with a few just little glitter drops of the willow. And I'm only just going to do tiny, tiny little bits. I want to pull in that little bit of green. So I'm just going to go dot, dot, dot as well. Just in between.
Yeah, that looks lovely.
The little sequins. It's just going to pull out. Once it's dried, you will get more of that translucity of the green. The green will start to just pop ever so slightly. And then if we also then just last one, don't want petals or to put gems. We've got quite a bit of bling going with the sparkle and the shimmer. So if I go in and just make that, not dull it down, but just go a little bit more subtle this time. And I'm
loving this, Craig. It looks beautiful. Craig, we've had an invite.
Oh, have we?
Maryland.
Oh.
Jen Shank on YouTube. Craig and Debbie, you're always welcome in Maryland. My family always jokes I'm the best Airbnb in town. You're welcome to stay. Why, thank you very much. I've never been to Maryland. I've never been to the States though, Craig, but Maryland sounds beautiful. Thank you very much, Jen.
Oh, just love absolutely anything to do with the US of A. What an incredible, incredible country. Although, like our country, it goes through tough times.
Jeffrey Langley on Facebook, Craig, says, if he is, once Craig is there, we, in capital letters, will be keeping him, so Sarah will just have to open a large store over here and all of you will have to do a month visit to demo and just might have to start our own shows. Thus, Ben and Craig can schedule Ben visit with wrestling events.
That's true, although I'd be scared with Jeffrey. It'd be like a scene out of Misery or something, potentially. Imagine that. Imagine that. Jeffrey will probably not let me go.
I was going to say tie you to the bedpost, but that's not right, is it? You've got to have seen the film Misery to understand that little reference.
Yeah, some film, isn't it? Some
Absolutely.
film.
We've got more talk of Chinese coming in. We've got lots of fireworks going off in the back. Oh, we've got a couple of questions.
Okay.
Jeanette McPaig on YouTube says, does that spray have a strong smell? And I'm presuming she means a spray that you use for your stencil.
Yeah, but it's got a light spray. For me anyway, Debbie, it's not anything too much. It's not overpowering. It's just a very light fragrance, a very light scent to it. But yeah, nothing. I wouldn't say anything overpowering for my senses anyway.
Yeah, that looks beautiful. Love that. All those textured, all those layers have all come from the Zen Garden collection. Absolutely beautiful.
And still getting that
Look how
sparkle and
gorgeous
that
that
shimmer
is.
as well. So then there you go.
Absolutely. There was one more question, but
Yes.
I think I can answer this
Yeah,
one. If
go
you don't
for
mind,
it.
Craig. Evelyn said, would the stencil stick to the new sticky mat and stamping platform? Yes, it will. You don't have to have the placement marker in place for that. You can absolutely stick your stencil down onto there. Just be careful if you are using glitter paste on there, because the last thing you want to do is get glitter paste all over your new sticky stamping mat. So yes, but absolutely you can. So the details on the screen are the price that you would pay for that Zen Garden collection, which is everything there that I think Craig put onto that card, and didn't actually do everything there, to be fair. A couple of inks that you didn't use, but
That's right,
absolutely
yeah.
incredible technique there, showing you how you can make the most out of your Zen Garden trend collection, which is just beautiful. Right, we're going to give you time to talk a little bit more Chinese for us, Chinese takeaways. Keep them coming in, keep those comments coming in, because you are in with a chance there as well. But what was that, Jamie? Who was that? Thank you very much. You'll have to shout. I've told you I'm going deaf. We're going to show you a little bit about people who work backstage. And of course, the one that we fear the most. See you on the other side.
Come in, check my emails, then lay the shows out in the studio, set pack shots up. Then I will get new polls, pick shows, solve any problems that need solving. We deal with other teams where we receive marketing suites, we receive boards. We pick samples to send to Hobby Maker. We pick samples to send to QVC. We will take the previous shows out of the studios, set the new shows up. We do floor manage occasionally, not all the time, making sure that the craft expert presenters have everything at hand that they need. Anything that they haven't got during shows, we will run about and get the products for them. Think on a morning when it's really quiet, I can get more done when there's nobody else in the building. Night owl. Morning. Coffee on a morning, tea the rest of the day. Savoury. Normally lunchtime. Craft along. Mobile phone. Christina's chicken wrap. Barry White. You're my first, my last, my everything. Go home and make the tea.
My day-to-day life is pretty busy in work. Literally, I get in the door, I check my polls, I then check what I've got to demo, I then get everything ready, and it's just busy, busy, busy from there. I have a meeting with the producer, the director, we get then sorted for the shows, talk to the presenter, and it depends what side I'm on. I mean, sometimes I'm doing the presenting side, sometimes I'm doing the demonstration side, and I love both. It's actually who I get to work with. That's, yeah, I can't say no more than that other than anybody that works here. We are a big family. We're so super friendly. I love Ben. I love it when we work together. And I don't mean that I don't love anyone else. It's the fact that Ben is the presenter and then I'm demonstrating and we just have this great rapport. Same with Craig, same with Deb, same with the whole team. So yeah, the best part of the day is just getting to work with the best people in the industry. Oh, a night out. In the morning. Oh, none. I only drink water. Oh, well, I'm cutting out sugar, so it's got to be savoury. Masterclass. Oh, I can't leave the house without my lipstick. Oh, I love a baked potato. I relax, so I literally drive home normally and then I relax.
It's just been over here pinching bits out of my pad, let me tell you. For anybody asking, we don't really fear our Tracy. It's just a little in-house joke. We absolutely love that woman
I
to
fear her.
bits. And we would be lost without her, can I just say, we would be lost without her. So if you're watching Tracy, please forgive. I'm not back till end of November. I'm sure she'll have forgotten by then. It'll be fine. Loads more talk coming in of our Chinese takeaway, our favourite Chinese takeaways, with it being National Chinese Takeaway Day, celebrating what is all things your favourite Chinese food. To be in with a chance of winning this fabulous little edible die that we'll showcase at the end. Well, I say showcase, we'll announce at the end of the show, which I can't believe, Craig, how the heck has 1 hour 24 minutes gone past already? We've got more to show you though, and more to share with you, lots more inspiration, lots more questions. I have got another question that I'll throw to Craig in a little bit, but keep your comments coming in and stay interactive with us and stay with us despite the fireworks outside. Jamie went to go and have a little run outside to have a look at them and miss them, but I'm pretty sure they're still going off. Right, the next things that are coming up are our handmade paper collection. Now, I love this. So we launched these during birthday, and it's not, you're not hand picking anything out of there. We're going to give you the entire collection. So some of my favourite paper pads of all time, and I mean this genuinely, and I love our paper pads, but this is a bit of me. Absolutely stunning. This is the Black Pearl, beautiful pearlised paper. And this is not paper, this is luxury with that gorgeous marbling, almost alcohol effect with that stunning foiling running through each one of these sheets. I think they never do it justice until you get these home and see just how fantastic these colours are. This is that Black Pearl foiled paper pad, 36 sheets in total. We did not go double-sided with this because this is something you ain't covering up or choosing. So you are definitely going to get each one of these 36 sheets to be able to cut into, whatever it is. I mean, I see these and I see a work of art. So for me, you don't add much to it. Absolutely stunning. That one, I think, is my all-time favourite, the Black Pearl. You've also got the Opal, again, 36 sheets, but this time, can we just take a minute to have a look at that? Look how stunning these papers are. In a month of Sundays, I don't think you could get a paper background like that with all of your mediums. I mean, you could try, but why try when you've got all of these stunning papers at your fingertips to be able to cut into? Stunning colours in this one. Again, I think it's hard to choose. I just said the Black Pearl one was my favourite, but I've changed my mind because I think it's this one with all these stunning colours running through and all that beautiful foiling and honestly, absolutely top-class paper. Now, we've also got one thing that I have been wanting for absolutely ages is our own colour code card. And that's what you've got with this. Now, I say card, it is, of course, a paper pad, but it is coloured cardstock. It's at 216 GSM, and it is perfect with these gorgeous colours to be able to sand back, the sand back techniques that you do with embossing folders, where you sand back and you want to create a colour underneath, not white. You want that colour core running through that, and that's exactly what you've got with these sheets as well. So you've got 3 beautiful paper pads that we launched during birthday. Then I think possibly some of the best papers we've ever... Now, it's always difficult to get these out, so I'm hoping I'm not going to get shouted too much at Jake, which are our specialist handmade floral papers. They are absolutely stunning, and I'll try and do this where you've got the texture. You've already seen us letterpress onto these, emboss with them, but you've got the most stunning papers, and I've read the feedback from customers already who've received these and telling us how much they've loved these papers, because this is speciality paper at its finest. That stunning design run through there. You won't get the same 2 sheets at all because all of these, and I think they've been put back in the wrong way. Let me see if I've got that the right way. Yeah, look at that detail of that vein running through that leaf. It's just something else. In total, you're getting 24 of those as well, alongside your fabulous marbled foiled paper and that colour card. as well. And then to top it all, to finish that bundle off, you've got your sanding blocks and your dust cloth in there as well. So all of this works together really beautifully. That's the price that you're seeing on the screen. Of course, you will take off your club membership, so it's £85 or $100, but down into the platinum level for the quality of those papers and cardstock is absolutely phenomenal. £68 or $80. And I believe our Craigie has got something up his sleeve with this one as well.
Yeah, we've got a thing lately about rosettes. You know, we had them when it came to our paper pleating and that, but you know, they're really, really lovely to create from scratch as well, and they work really lovely when it comes to these papers. So what I've got is I've got one of the 12 by 12, and then we're just going to cut that one to 2.5 inches. So let's go 2.5 inches, and we're going to keep it at the 12-inch in length. So that's 2.5 by 12, and then we're going to do exactly the same again. So let's do 2.5 by 12. This one is from the Opal bundle. So I'm going to then bring in my large scoreboard. Now, if you don't have a large one, don't worry, because we'll be able to do it on a smaller one. I'll show you what I mean by that just shortly. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the edge of my scoreboard, and then I'm going to score at every ½ inch increment. So every ½ inch, I'm going to score down lightly, but a couple of times. And then what I'm also doing, as I travel along, I'm just going to hold down with my left hand, just to kind of stop the paper from kind of going and moving at an angle. Because obviously, if it moves at an angle, you're scoring at an angle. So therefore, I want to keep these as straight as possible. So I'm just going to start at the top and then work my way down at every ½ inch. So keep going. If you're using a smaller scoreboard, maybe like a Scoremaster or something, because it's 12-inch and it's every ½ inch, you could just score as far as you can up to around about the 8-inch, and then just flip it around and then just continue with the score, because it's every ½ inch and it will meet within the middle. So what I mean by that is if I bring in this one here, so if we bring it in, what I could do, Debbie, is score as far as I can up to the 8-inch, and then what I can just do is just flip it around and then just keep scoring again.
Yeah.
Because it's every ½ inch, we will meet at that 8-inch point. And that Scoremaster, if it was a small A4 one or even smaller, doesn't matter. You can just follow along with that way. Alternatively, the other thing you could do, if you wanted to, is, let's say, so that was the 8-inch. I'm just using 8-inch as an example. What you could do, Debbie, is then go right to that side here. Start off where you ended, just start scoring again.
Right.
So you've got a few ways if you've not got a large scoreboard. And then we're just going to repeat that step again. So we're just going to go to the top, pinch and hold down to start with. And as I start to get a nice little run, I'm just going to use my left hand just to anchor down the papers so that they're not going to move. As I said when I done that first one, if your cardstock or your paper starts to go at an angle, then of course you're going to start scoring at an angle. So I'm just going to repeat that. I tend to just do maybe about a couple of score lines, so up to the 7-inch. And once you start to get that good start, you just keep going. And it's quite, I find actually doing quite a few score lines quite therapeutic.
Yeah.
Because there's something quite satisfying.
But
I find it satisfying.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. Nice and satisfying. And then once we've got them both, what we're just going to start to do is concertina them. So we're just going to start to go back and forth, and concertina all of these strips. Once you start to get that flow, if you find, like that one, have enhanced that score line a little bit, let's just go back, and then I'm just going to redo it. I'm just going to make sure I'm still aligned, and then we're going to go there, we'll go, that's it, it was just out, just that little bit. So let's just start again, just work our way around, and then we're just going to go back and forth, So we're just
Lots of
starting
comments coming in about these papers, Craig.
off. A lot of love for them.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Dion Harris on YouTube says, oh my God, they are outstanding papers. Gail Dixon on YouTube, I've just received my paper collection. Better in person than on screen,
That's
and
what
I
you were saying,
absolutely 100% agree with you. She said the black opal pad is stunning. And Erica on YouTube says, I received my marble papers. They are so much better in person. And our lovely Lisa P on YouTube says, my grandmother's name was Opal. What a lovely name. Yeah, that's lovely. Still lots of talk of the Chinese, Craig.
Is there any other ones? Anything
Yeah,
that we've
we've
not
got
heard yet?
Beijing beef from Panda Express.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, so that's Chris on Facebook. I wonder if is that a chain, Panda Express?
Must be if I've heard of it before, yeah.
Yeah, Judith Harrison on YouTube, she said, my fur baby Chico would never forgive me if we had a Chinese and didn't get any prawn crackers. My Millie used to love prawn crackers. She absolutely loved them.
So does Clemmy.
Teresa Campbell on YouTube, I'm going to make some steaks with a side order of fried rice and egg rolls for dinner today. You see, we've got everybody talking now. Denise on Facebook says, dry spare ribs, either chilli or salt and pepper, vegetable chow mein, special fried rice, possibly crispy chili beef, sweet and sour chicken, Hong Kong style, depends on who I'm sharing with. This subject was a bad move. We all now fancy Chinese for tea. I think we're all feeling that, Denise, let me tell you. Eleanor, I have seen your question about repeating what comes in the Zen Garden collection, and I will absolutely go through that deal with you in a moment. And we've had another couple of questions as well, so I'll get round to those. So Karen H on YouTube, please hang fire, and I'll ask Craig about the glitter paste in a second.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that, Debbie. So we've now got ours, we've concertinaed them. They're all concertinaed together. So let's go in with, I'm going to go in now with my tape runner. So I'm just going to add my tape. I'm going to then come along. Well, that was quite a few, wasn't it?
Listen. Are you listening?
All go.
Oh my goodness me, it sounds so good outside.
Could imagine just nicely standing outside.
We could
watching the
should we take
fireworks.
everything outside and go and do it outside?
Okay, I could do a little bit of paper plating outside, eh? Be nice to see. See the fireworks? Yeah, this must be what? Yeah, this is now my third year. Just coincidence. It just so happens that third year working
Like me, I've
bonfire.
worked every Halloween. So Halloween, I've been done every, and I was here this time last year with Becky on Halloween when she was a green witch. Did you see her this year?
I didn't, no.
She looked amazing. And she loved the cape. I have a feeling we're going to have to wrestle it off her because she literally did not want to take that cape off
What
at
one
all.
was that?
She had a beautiful black cape. She was a ghosty ghoulie. A zombie?
Ghosty
Was she a zombie or was she a... She got white face with a stitched design and a black cape that was actually fabulous. I'm not going to lie, she looks amazing.
No, I didn't see that. Didn't see that. Now that we've
Can
got...
I tell you, she kept scaring me, Craig.
Did she?
She kept scaring me. She kept coming over to me while I was demonstrating. So I'd be demonstrating away. Next thing, I'd corner my eye, I'd see her, she'd... I'm like, you little devil.
She knows
So
what
she went
she's
into proper
up to.
full-on character. Never trust Becky Swan in Halloween. I'm telling you, I think it's an annual thing we're having her here because, seriously, she gets really carried away. She gets right into the spirit.
You need to remind me next year, if I end up with Becky, you need to remind me just what she's like.
Yes.
Because, well, I don't really... I'm not as easily spooked, though.
Well, I am. I definitely am. And she definitely got me a few times. Once or twice. But yes. So yeah, you're a yearly thing here at Fireworks then. A yearly thing here.
What was that, sorry?
With the event at Fireworks,
Yes,
if you're here
yeah.
every year.
I'm here everywhere. So you've got Halloween, I've got fireworks.
I'm usually at Hobbymaker on Firework night.
Are you?
Yeah, I've watched a few down there before. From hotel.
Yeah. I wonder if Debbie's got one. Debbie Fisher's got one. If she's got like a night, an occasion that she seems to always be on each year.
Well, I'll have to ask her.
that. Need to ask her that. So I've got my pleated, I've done my concertina, and this is how it's going to start to look. And then all that we're just going to do is we're just going to then just fold that one in, and you can see how that's going to start to come together. Now, for anything like a rosette, I'll always use a hot glue, Debbie.
Yes.
It's just always my personal preference. You can use a tacky glue or a glue gel, but you will have to let that dry for a fair amount of time, and you'll also have to have something sitting on top of it to let it dry and anchor it down. Now, I've just done a die-cut circle that I've popped this on. Honestly, it could be a bit of scrap card because you're not going to see it.
Could
it's
be
just
one of your
something.
nesting dies.
It could be one of your nesting dies, yeah. And in actual fact, just while I let that grab, I've got a couple of layers here from the nesting dies. Just a bit of gold and a little bit of the pattern paper, because that's going to cover it within this centre here. So I'm just going to let that hold, and just before it fully sets, let's just go around and make sure we've kind of got the pleats nice and even. Turn that around, you can see it's not neat, it's not in the centre, doesn't need to be because you're not going to see it. It's just about anchoring that down. What I'm also going to do is I'm also going to use some hot glue for the centre, just because you've got that little channel in the middle. What it'll just do as well, it'll just help that glue will seep through. It's just going to strengthen it even more. And then what we can also do is just pop that one into the middle and just let that set, get that into the centre. And then taking a couple of butterflies from that kaleidoscope, a butterfly set that we had a good wee while ago, and I've just die cut it. It's already out in gold cardstock, and I'm going to go in with the body or glue onto the body. And then what I'm going to do, actually, do you know what? I'm not going to do that yet, Debbie, and there's a reason why. Let's come in with the card blank. So I've just done an easel, so you can see I've done a twisted easel here. So if I bring in a sentiment that came from that same die set, and what we can do is let's go into here and press that down so we've got that easel. Now the reason I didn't put the butterfly on just yet, let's just pop this into the centre here. So I'm going to get that into there, and then what we're going to do is I'm just going to make sure we're all good. So as we turn that one around, we're going to be fine. Let's just press the butterfly wings in. I'm just going to hold that up. I'm just going to let that grab for a moment or two. And then I've got one other little butterfly here, also within the gold. And let's just go in just into the corner, just here. Let's move that out the way. And then if we just lift the wings up, make sure it's grabbed to the cardstock first, and then we've got our twisted easel within our rosette, creating that statement piece, Debbie, within the centre.
Absolutely, and taking centre stage there is that fabulous paper pad with a simple technique, and lots of lovely comments coming through already. PB Brewer Martin on YouTube says, Craig, this is fabulous technique for creating a rosette. Cool. She's like lots of exclamation marks, loving it.
Awesome.
Veronica Perez on YouTube says, great show. Dion Harris on YouTube, that's why I watch CCTV. It helps me think outside the box, and thanks for all that the team does. Jay Robson on YouTube as well says, these rosettes are beautiful. They would make lovely home decor pieces, and those papers are glorious. They absolutely are. And Angela, crispy shredded beef. Oh yes, loving that one as well. I'm telling you, poor Jan was had to read and put all these comments onto her. She said she's so hungry. We all are, I think, a little bit now. But that was an absolutely fabulous demonstration using just a fraction of those papers. One sheet, actually, our Craig used there to create that beautiful card. Absolutely stunning. And that's the kind of thing that you can be doing with those fabulous papers. So 2 sets of those beautiful foiled marble papers in the opal and the, let me get that right, I can never remember the other one, I do apologise.
Black pearl?
Black pearl and opal, thank you, Craig. Beautiful papers. You've got the coloured everyday core, core, can I say that right either? Teeth back in, where you've got that lovely colour underneath at the top of that linen, and then you've got the beautiful handmade papers, and of course then the sanding block and the dust cloth as well, for that price that you're seeing on the screen. And absolutely, when you take a look at that lower price there, £68 or $80, I think is a really good deal for some fabulous papers as well. Keep your comments coming in. We're down into the last, well, 18 minutes now, but please do keep those comments coming in. Now, a question that got answered just earlier. sorry, that we're going to answer now, sorry, the question got asked earlier, from Eleanor was about the Zen Garden collection. So I'm going to repeat what we've got and show you each individual item that we've got in this collection. Now, it's called a colour trend collection. Zen Garden being that lovely calming colours that you would associate with your gardens, those gorgeous greens. If you look up at a blue sky, those beautiful blues, those gorgeous pinks, everything works beautifully together. So you can see all of the colours and how that trend, how that colour is matched to work beautifully, either on their own or all together. But I'll strip that back down for you again. You've got a tricolour aqua in here with 3 beautiful colours, the soothing shade, the bamboo and the magnolia, which is those lovely 3 colours there that you see in. So 1 pen with 3 brush nibs, aqua base, so it's a water-based medium. You've then also got in your water-based mediums, you have got your 2 fabulous ink pads, one in the form of a duet ink pad, brand new colour to this one called Mountain Blue. I'll just take that off so you can see it, where you've got 2 shades of blue in the one ink pad that with the colour separation using a water-based pull it out, draw it out. You've obviously seen our shows with the duet ink pads, and if you haven't, you can go and check those out. But that's a fabulous hybrid ink pad. Then you have the Shimmer Spectrum Noir Intense Metal Effect that you're getting in that gorgeous Japanese maple that you saw our Craig use earlier. I don't think that colour does it justice in the ink pad. I think that demo that Craig did earlier is absolutely stunning. In the water-based medium as well, which Craig showed you, and especially for the lovely question that we got asked earlier about how to use them, I think he showed you a stellar job on how you can use them, from painting to through your stencils to spritzing to splodging and so much more. And that's just from one bottle there that you're getting, and that colour is Cherry Blossom. Again, new colours to that collection. Colouring mediums, we're talking alcohol markers. So we've got a 3-in-1 tri-blend brush. So it's a tri-colour, this one. So it's 3 colours that complement each other. And you've got Lily Pad, Reflection and Cool Water. So they're the 3 colours that actually match, although not what we would tend to normally think with a tri-blend, but this was tri-colour, so these 3 work beautifully. That's the alcohol pen that you're going to colour, and again, brush nib. This one is your oil base, so this is a metallic marker, paint marker, and this one is in the blush, and I believe, if I remember rightly, it's the only one that isn't an exclusive colour, because we have this in our sets, I think, if I remember rightly, but this is our oil-based medium there. So again, there are your colouring elements to it. Then you've got the glitter paste, as you saw our lovely Craig use those glitter pastes. You've got one in a fine colour, which is the Water Lily, beautiful fine glitter, absolutely stunning colour. And in the chunky version, you've got the Lily Pond, which is that beautiful greens and blues in there as well. You have gilding flakes, and we've got the pretty pink. So gilding flakes, absolutely love gilding flakes. Both myself and Craig, big, massive fans of those. You've also got sequins in, the colour is jasmine, but again, you can see all of those lovely iridescent sparkle running through there. Glitter glue is in this as well, in this willow colour. Beautiful glitter glue, a stunning example of how Craig used it in that last demo. Also, a big tub of this stunning glitter, this fine glitter, which is called Lotus Flower, and the colours that you're seeing running through there, they're just absolutely spectacular. When you get them home and see them in your own hand, in your own natural light, you'll totally understand what we mean about that one. And then we've got a couple of fabulous pearls and gems. So again, colours that work so lovely together. So pearls and gems, a mixed colour of gems in there. So that is a breakdown of everything that you're getting in the Zen Garden. Lots of different mediums, but I think our Craig showed you a really good example of not to be afraid of all these mediums, of breaking them down, of layering up, because you can use them separately if you want to, but I think the most that you get out of it, where it all just works so wonderfully together, is when you use them all together, and that's exactly what you've got in that fabulous collection that you're seeing on the screen at £59 or $89.99. In that purple box, though, it comes right down to £47.20 or $71.99, and lots of ways that you can use them. Craig, are you doing another demo with this?
Well, we're just going to have a little bit of a play. I've seen this one, Debbie, and I thought this is really, really nice here. So it's just getting a few bits and pieces, just show you how you can overlay and you can stamp and then also paint with them. So I've just got some watercolour cardstock here, and I've gone in with this Statement Hydrangea stamp. So let's take that stamp and then we're just going to pop that into place here. So if I then start to move that, bring it in, press it down, and then we're going to go in with the Japanese maple here. This one being your shimmer pigment. So we're just going to ink up, because you can absolutely use these as standalone ink pads if you want to have that beautiful shimmer that comes through. And also what you could do is start to pull the colour out if you want to. We're then going to press that down. So we're just going to give that a really good press. Great thing with the stamping platform and our new stamping platform. Miss any bits, you just go back, reapply the pressure, and then you can see just got a little bit to the side. Now, as I always say, and I say this time and time again, I'm quite comfortable and confident in knowing that I had a full coverage of ink. So therefore, if you're missing any ink, if it's not there, it's got to still be on your stamp. So before you go and reapply with more ink, just give it a bit of a press. I can see I filled it then now, because I knew that I'd fully covered that stamp. So if it's not there, it had to still be sitting on the stamp. So I'm then going to, before we do a little bit of colouring, let's do a little bit of reverse. I seen that we had one of these. So obviously whoever had been demoing this when it was launching or other shows has taken some of our mascot roll and stamped it out and then done a little bit of fussy cutting. And these are great because this is where you can start to create depth and dimension in the background, in the foreground. So you've got that look by stamping over and it actually looks like it's away into the background. So all that I'm doing here, I'm not going to be using the hydrangea stamp again. What I'm going to use is, what will I take actually? I think I might have to for demonstration purposes, because the ones that have been used in the background, I don't have any background stamps in the set. Nope. So what I will do is whoever it was that done, I know Nicole's done this finished example. So where she's gone in with that old script work and sentiment from other stamp sets, to get that look, Debbie, of it way into that background, this is where your stamp and your mascot comes in.
Yeah.
So if I'm just going to go back, although I said I wasn't going to use the stamp again, we are for the sake of being able to show you. What I'm also going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of that excess just for the time being. So I'm just going to take some of that off and then give it a good clean after. And then if I come in, and this is the good thing as well with not having the little legs in the centre of our new stamping platform, if you got a hold of it, it means I can go off the edge with ease. And if I come down into here and then go back with my stamping platform, and then I'm going to go in with, actually, I'm thinking, Debbie, maybe a second generation stamp will be enough.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And also it'll show still that depth. So if so I'm going to go with that.
I like
with that. And then what I'm also going to do, I know I'm going to really be pushing my luck here, but let's just see what it's going to be like. Let's go into here. Yeah, I'm going to be happy with that. Let's just tack that down. And then tell you what I will do. Let's ink up loosely, Debbie, and then let's take a bit of card and let's lightly press down. So we're taking a little bit of that layer of colour off. Still use that at another point. So essentially we're kind of getting that second generation stamp now, even although it's just a first generation in some ways. So we can then lift that one up, and then the more and more that you do that, of course, yes, it's going to become a muddied mess, but you can keep using that mascot until it's completely done. Let's go now. I know obviously this is not a poke tool, it's a nudging tool, but still we could nudge that back and off, and then let's just sit. Now what I do with these as well is I'll just sit them on the back of the packaging, so that I know that I can keep using it and I don't need to worry about it falling to bits or losing it or getting it tangled. Or where do I keep them? I keep them all with their packaging. So let's just nudge, move that into place.
I like how you're nudging it, Craig. I'd have just ripped it off. I'm not going to lie. You're there being really precise and nudging it off ever so gently. Lord love you at me, it'd be like a band-aid. Off you come. But I like
just redo it again if
and
you need
I might, if I have to demonstrate that next, I might be thanking you for that.
There you go. Yeah, just keeping that on the back of the packaging, so if you do need to use that. So that's how you've got that background, that foreground. So that's what Nicole's done within the script work stamps that she's got and the actual stamp work that she's got within these ones. But even going into these, let's stick with the Japanese maple. I'm just going to go in with a little bit, and then I'm also going to go in with a little bit of the mountain blue as well. Now, what we're going to do with our paintbrush, so this is what I was mean by, you could start to pull some of that colour out. I'm not. What I'm going to do is, I've got a little bit of water on my brush, so I'm going to go into the centre of the hydrangea, and you will have a little element of it pulling some of the colour from the line, but not enough that you're not going to see that outline of the hydrangea petals. So we're just going to go in, we're just going to keep picking up. I'm just going to do this first petal, and then I'll show you the actual finished card, as you can see how Nicole's got that effect with all the individual petals. But going in with that Japanese maple, just going in with that bit of deep colour, starting to pull it out. So that one is our pearlescent shimmer ink pad of our Japanese maple, and then we're going into our duet ink pad of mountain blue. Just pick up a little bit of colour here, and then we're going to go into that opposite side, and then we're just going to start to blend these two together, like so. And then we can go back in again. I'm actually going to go this way so I can pull down towards me. So start at one side with the Japanese maple, going in with the other mountain blue, and then just going in. So we're just taking our time, petal by petal. And I would do individual petals. The water base is very forgiving, so of course you can do a few petals at once, but it's nice just to take your time and
How lovely is
just
that?
do them individually. So you're still going to get that shimmer from the shimmer palette or the shimmer ink pad, but because we're blending the shimmer ink pad with the duet, Debbie, you're going to still get a bit of shimmer within that duet as well.
Yeah, that looks really lovely.
So you're just going to keep on going and going and going. So you will just start to see a little bit of that shimmer just in a moment bouncing off. But we've got that background and foreground, and you can just carry on going when it comes to
that, isn't
flower. How beautiful is that? So although completely different stabs, but it's just showing you with the masket roll, or maybe you use masket sheets. Either way, it's a nice way to actually create that background, foreground, and blend in a shimmer ink pad with a duet ink pad as well.
Lots of lovely comments coming through, Craig, about your techniques and your cards that you've been making and everything else. And, of course, still talk of all the Chinese, but we do have a winner. Whew, thank goodness for that, because I don't think my belly could take anymore. Because, honestly, you guys have been so chatty today about... And do you know why? It's anything to do with food. We all get like that, let me tell you now. But we do have a winner who's going to be getting this fabulous edgeable die. And now I've reread it, and apologies to our lovely social media superstar, Jan. Yeah, apart from being deaf, I'm also blind, because she's put it out twice for me. The winner is Jeanette McPake on YouTube. So well done, Jeanette. And I'll write your name on the back and hand that over to our social media superstar, Taylor, who will be winging that across to you. So thank you to everybody who participated in all of those lovely comments, all that talk of Chinese. Now, a big thanks to, of course, everybody here. Our lovely producer, Nicola, our fabulous Jamie. When's your birthday, Jamie? Thursday. Happy birthday, Jamie, Thursday. Our lovely Jake, who's busy, and of course the wonderful talent that's over the other side of the studio, our gorgeous Craig. Craig, when are you back?
Thank you very much. So I am back on Thursday. So tomorrow you got Leanna and Sheena, don't they? And then, yes, I'm going to be back Thursday, Friday.
Fabulous. Well, thank you very much for sharing your wonderful talent, and of course, well deserved of that 14,000 followers on Facebook, because that's why he's got that following. He's so wonderful, and they've been beautiful makes today. Thank
you to you, Debbie.
Oh,
'cause
thank
it's
you.
so nice having you on that
Thank you
side.
very much. Yes, bit different today, so you had me on this side. Tomorrow, of course, we're going to be doing it all over again. But you're going to get Leanna and Sheena, I believe, for the first show with a new launch. You don't want to miss it. Let me just tell you, you don't want to miss it. I think Craig already showed you a sneaky peek on Monday. Please don't miss out that fabulous one. That's at 12 p.m. here in the UK, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 a.m. Central Time, 4 a.m. Pacific Time for a fabulous new launch. And then tomorrow, I do believe Debbie is winging her way up here. So Debbie's going to be with the lovely Sheena later on in the day with... Oh! Colour Me Happy. I mean, what better person to be doing the Colour Me Happy shows than our fabulous Sheena. As far as I know, I'm not back until the end of November. But I am going to be down at the other place, and I've got a few days off myself because I've got lots of things coming up that I'm really excited about. So yeah, can't wait. So don't forget all the things that are going off. Let me do a little recap. It's Tenner Tuesday or £10 Tuesday, £10 or $10. You've been taking advantage of some amazing deals. Don't forget, I do believe there's some left in stock of that fabulous cardstock pad, luxury foiled cardstock pad. That's £10. It should be $34.99. £10 or $10. £8, $8 if you are a platinum member. So take advantage of that. We've also got the firecracker deals that have been going off since yesterday, running up to the 7th, and also our sort and store. Go over to the website, check out all the storage systems. I've had lots of comments today coming through about all the different things that you've been getting. That runs up to the 17th. Some great deals on there as well. And a big thank you to everybody who's participated, who's been reactive, that's the word I'm looking for, interactive with us today across both shows. And it has been absolutely fabulous. So I hope you can join us all again tomorrow. I won't be here, but our lovely Leanne and Sheena will. So for now, it's a goodbye from me.
Doodles.